Hi everyone, I just came back from looking at the Chinese New Year festivities over at Mayfair Mall today. It was beautiful to see all the flower arrangements and beautiful red lanterns and hear all the stories about how Chinese New Year came to be. It's sponsored by our BC Hospitals for Children, and it was wonderful to be able to get to Mayfair right on time when it first before it got too busy. And I haven't been to Mayfair in a while, so it was a fortunate, very lucky visit. The toy store has been closed permanently, but there are some collectible stores within Mayfair still, which is also really lucky. I don't go to Mayfair that often because my family don't like parking in the parking lot, and it gets really, really busy over there on a regular basis. So we always hit the hillside, which is why I usually mention it in my broadcasts. Today, it's a nice, sweet treat day. Our newest game is This or That. The first question is, would I try su choy or bok choy? Su choy, because it's very much lighter than bok choy in flavor. Sweet potatoes or yams? Sweet potatoes, because it's a little bit more denser and tastes super yummy when it's baked. Yams are really good for mashed potatoes and fries, usually. Sweet potatoes are a little less, they don't hold their shape well as much as yams. The difference between both is that yams are pink and then sweet potatoes are a white potato, akin to a normal potato but a lot more sweeter in flavor. But I try apple pie or apple crisp. Apple crisp, because I love the oatmeal topping and the dense, yummy, savory spices in apple crisp the most. They both have the same base, but the oatmeal tends to give it a more nuttier flavor in a way. Lemon shortcake or berry shortcake? Berry shortcake. I will always choose strawberries or raspberries or any berry if it's available for a shortcake, or any dessert for that matter. Not that I don't like lemon, but I love berry shortcake with yummy whipped cream on top, and the sponge cake is delicious in any shortcake recipe. Pasta or rice? As I had pasta for lunch today, a lobster mac and cheese, I'll definitely choose pasta first over rice. Not that both aren't delicious, but pasta will always win on my account. Dawn or dusk? Dawn, because I love early mornings and dawn has this beautiful magic to it. Sunrise or sunset? Sunrise, because of the same reason as the dawn. I love looking at the different colors of pinks and reds in the sky first thing in the morning. It's gorgeous. Takeout or cook it myself? If I don't have time to cook, I'll definitely choose takeout, but overall, I would love to cook my meals more than take out my dishes, because I can always customize the flavor to what I like the most. And I love to experiment. I would visit restaurants just to be able to cook it myself at home. The ocean or a lake? I'll love the lakes. They're always so calm and reflective and super beautiful during the warmer months. And the water is more clear and pure at a lake, mostly. Cold or hot? I'll definitely choose hot. I love warmer and hotter weather. It's very comforting, and the sunrises always are earlier in the day during the hot seasons. In the cold, not so much at all. Summer or winter? Summer. Summer for sure. I'd rather be too hot than too cold, because you can always remedy a hot day with cool drinks or going out early, and you can always use cold compresses or just go to the water to cool down, like I do when I head to Oak Bay just to cool down by the ocean. Introvert or extrovert? I am definitely an introvert, a very big introvert. I do like people, but I definitely need a day to rest and relax afterwards. If I've been around crowds too much. I love the peace and quiet that non-crowds bring. So I'm definitely an introvert, like many of the whole Alive members, who are very big introverts as well, including Matame Nei-chan, who joked that she'd rather be indoors than out in a big crowd. Same with Mana Nei-chan. That's why I tend to like them so much. And so is Mei. Basically, most of the whole Live members I enjoy watching are definitely introverts. Bei to a certain extent, but not as much as the other girls that I've mentioned. Oranges or mandarins? Mandarins, because they're easier to peel and are a lot sweeter and juicier. That's why I love having them during the winter. It's nice and cooling and refreshing. And you can also get these sumo mandarins at this time of year. They're called dekopans in Japan, and they're super sweet and easy to peel, and they're jumbo size. I'm trying to ration off the very last one I have in the house so I can enjoy it for as long as I can. I'll definitely have it tomorrow, as I don't want it to go bad while I'm letting it sit on the shelf. So I can definitely tomorrow with my protein shake. Jewelry or clothing? I always choose clothing because you can. It's less expensive, depending on the brand that you choose, and you can get more use out of it than jewelry. Because jewelry you can only wear for special occasions most of the time. Unless you like wearing necklaces and lots of jewelry on a regular basis. Me, I like my different types of fashion. Figurines or plushes? Plush, because you can actually store them a lot easier than a figurine, and figurines tend to break very, very easily. Like my Flash statue, no, my Green Arrow statue. Just one little knock on it, off its perch, and its arm broke. So technically, it's a little safer to buy plushies and hug them and cuddle them than buy figurines that you can't actually do anything with and are definitely more fragile. Roses or cherry blossoms? I love the cherry blossoms the most. They win by a huge margin. I love roses, but cherry blossoms are definitely top on my list. And that includes plum blossoms too, and peach blossoms, any blossom really. Anything that can be on a tree that springs into full bloom, I'll definitely love. City or the country? I'll definitely choose the country because it's very calm, cool, collected, and smaller in scale than a city, with all those tall buildings, lots of traffic, and huge crowds usually. Basically, the country also has beautiful horses and rolling hills and farmland, which I really, really enjoy seeing. And you can also find farmers markets, which I really love. A concert or a festival? Well, if I'm going to be in a crowd, I'll definitely choose a festival because you can have games and different artisan booths. You can also have a concert within a festival, too, which has, though it's kind of the best of all worlds with a festival. And you get to wear beautiful kimonos once in a while, or different outfits that you probably wouldn't wear in normal life. I also love seeing the little shrine charms that they have at festivals. And this also goes to conventions and everything. I would love to go to a convention because they're similar to festivals. A manicure or a facial? Since I can do my own nails, I'll choose a facial because it's a lot easier to get it done by a professional and very relaxing because they can also give you a massage. Dark mode or light mode? The biggest controversy of all. I would always choose light mode because it's easier on my eyes and I can read better with a lighter screen over a darker screen. Which some dark mode people would say, you can also see better with the dark mode. Well, my eyes are better with the light. Spring or fall? I love both, but spring will always win out in the end because it has all the flowers and gardens that I love the most in peak condition. Which is why I also like Valentine's Day because that's when spring begins on Vancouver Island most of the time. When we have a good year. Then otherwise, you never know. But the plum blossoms always tend to come early around Valentine's Day. So I absolutely love that. And I'm a total romantic, so I will always choose Valentine's Day. I love making homemade chocolates for my loved ones and my closest friends. If they're Hana detox, I'll make them yummy fruit jelly with a little bit of gelatin and fruit juice and add a little bit of fresh berries within and put it in a champagne glass. It's not exactly the same as chocolate, but it's equally as tasty and super pretty and carries that same Valentine's Day feel. Horror or comedy? I would never choose horror first, so it's definitely a comedy. I love being able to laugh at a situation and see everybody so happy in a comedy. So definitely I wouldn't choose a dark comedy, but I would choose a normal comedy overall. Rock or metal? Rock, definitely rock. Because when you love emo, rock comes high on the list afterwards. And the music for rock is always so much fun to hear and learn from. I love the guitar riffs and the wonderful drumming and all the acoustic varieties that comes from rock music. Cartoon or anime? Anime wins, definitely. That was pretty easy. I love how detailed and almost realistic anime can be. And the music is always so soaring and touching. Like Tsubasa. If it didn't have that same emotional music, it wouldn't quite be the same, despite how beautiful Clamp makes the art. The music from Yuki fiction yucca is so moving that you can be crying by the end of the series. It's so emotionally powerful. Fiction Yuka also worked on Gundam Seed, so whenever I watch that one, I cry my eyes out. It's that emotional. I'm a big softie, so I cry fairly easily. A boat or a plane? I would definitely choose a boat because I'd rather be on the water, safe and sound, than be on a plane where you're cramped inside small quarters, and there's always a chance that the plane might not make it into the air. When we were in Disney World, my family would take the monorail, and I took the boat. And I actually made it back to the hotel before they did, because the monorail broke, but the boat, since it could run on non-electric power, could get to the hotel quite easily. That's the specialty of a boat. No matter what the conditions, you could always still get the boat running. If not electronically, manually, with 2 paddles or a sail. Writing or typing? I love a good pen and paper for me, which is why sometimes it was hard to do blogging, because technically I wouldn't get the same inspirational feel that writing gives, and you can't exactly put stickers and washi tape and all that beautiful seals and everything on a computer page. You can put little photos and stuff on a typed page, but it's not quite the same. It's different, if you know what I mean. Cat or dog? Dogs. They've always been very friendly to me. Unless they're excitable dogs, and then they bark really, really loudly, and then you want to make it past them really, really quickly. Cats are very friendly too, but dogs, they're definitely loyal and trustworthy. A bunny or a fox? A bunny. Bunnies are super, super cute, and I relate to them very, very well. In Minecraft, I love a fox. The alpine white ones or the orange ones that are normal. White ones are rare, but they're super, super cute with their shining eyes, which are aqua in color. And they are so friendly, despite being the most predatory animal in the Minecraft game. I always try to keep my foxes in a different, make a pen for them, because then they don't go after all the other animals that I sometimes farm in my Minecraft file. I don't play Minecraft for going into the mines itself, but I do play Minecraft for all the farming elements and all the different animals and cultivating all the flowers. My latest file has a lot of cottages and rolling hills and lots of flower fields, which is super pretty. My next project is making a brand new cottage, which I'm looking forward to finishing, and then probably make another Watame Ne-chan giant plushie statue, and probably an iris one if I get ambitious, because it's hard to get her exact purple gradation hair color. And Watame's is a little easier to do. Would I ever do my original character in a giant huge plushie form? I can consider it, but it's always fun to do established characters or avatars. I can even probably try My Melody one eventually, which is why I love one of the reasons why I love bunnies so much. my melody. Hello Kitty was definitely one of the first animes I watched other than Speed Racer, so my melody is definitely high on the ranking list. Tea or coffee? Tea. Definitely tea. I'm drinking cherry blossom green tea now after my walk to Summit Park. The stairs aren't quite fixed yet over at the park, but all the park is completely safe, and the trees are just starting to get buds, which is beautiful. And a lot of the rolling hills are turning even more green as we speak. I was glad that it was sunny today to be able to go see it. And it was sunny a little bit yesterday, so I could go to Cedar Hill for a nice walk around the trails and try the steep hills. My objective is to try to get my heart rate above 150 to running pace while I'm walking. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. At Summit, yes, I can easily get to that fast running pace to reach that over 150. Now that I'm getting stronger each day, a lot of the hills around the neighborhood aren't as difficult as they used to be. So I have to go out of my way to increase the difficulty somehow. Luckily, Summit Park delivers that, so it's wonderful. Oswald Park does it too, but I usually wait until spring so I can enjoy the giant, huge Kwanzaa cherry blossoms while I'm doing such a walk, and then probably approach it from the Hillside Mall and take the wraparound route from there. And tonight I'll probably enjoy a good pumpkin spice chai tea tonight. When I was at Mayfair, I enjoyed a matcha tea with mocha as a base. The chocolate and green tea work so well together and is super yummy. They asked if I wanted to keep the extra sugar, but the mocha was just enough for me. And I absolutely love being able to have it that way. So that's definitely my next choice up from now on. The mocha matcha. Or a chai tea, which is equally as yummy and nice and toasty warm, which is perfect for me. Or the classic London Fog with Earl Grey tea and oat milk as a base. It's super yummy. Do I ever go to Tim Hortons for it? Not always, no. I think that they add a little bit too much sugar at Tim Hortons. And sometimes it's a little bitter because they let the tea bags sit in the cup too long at the very bottom of the cup. So I usually go to Starbucks because of the milk alternatives and how properly they do their teas. And they also have some really good pastries and desserts over at Starbucks, which is perfect for a person who loves sweets. I try to treat myself once in a while because if you do a lot of walking, you burn a lot of calories quite quickly. And if you have plant-based, according to Fauna, you have to eat a little bit more to compensate for that. Because there's less calories in vegan food than in a normal omnivore type diet. I do eat still meat, but I'm half plant eater, half a plant-based person, so so I know how that I'm supposed to try to balance that a little bit at the same time. The nutritionist would say to have more protein from animal products in the evening because of my anemia. So I try to follow that rule quite religiously, which is why I sometimes still have the sausage breakfast sandwich over at Starbucks, because then I can get my animal protein from there and then treat myself with lighter dishes later on. Thank you for listening.